We're live.
You're listening to the We Talk Nerd podcast, the podcast about gaming, movies, and everything nerd. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Rob.
And holy cow, we have a lot to talk about this week.
E3.
We had E3.
Wait a minute, did something happen this week?
Oh, I guess it did.
So if you don't know, and you've been living under a rock, E3 was this past weekend, and actually it may still be going on, or today might be the last day. But we have lots of new announcements to talk about, lots of more info on games you've already heard about, and yeah. So
just jump right into it, right?
Before we jump right into it?
No, we're good. Just jump into it.
Yeah, all we played were old games that no one cares about, and they're no longer good anymore. So we just have to live with these sorry things until the good new games come out.
Exactly.
So we're going to talk. This isn't in any order that was talked about. This is just a list of things that we typed up. So don't pay any mind to the order. But we're going to talk about a lot of things. So here, let's just go into it. We had a Starfield, which is a Bethesda game coming out. It is a single-player RPG. It's in the works. It is probably a long way away.
Yeah. But it's interesting because it's like their first new IP in a number of years. So the first new IP from Bethesda in 18 years. That's some time, y'all.
That is a lot, and it's supposed to be big. It's considered a quote-unquote next-gen game, which I don't think means next-generation consoles, but I think it means in terms of technology and that kind of thing. But it might be next-generation, depends on how long it takes to come out. But it is supposed to be a sci-fi game out in space. Think about Mass Effect and those kind of things. Yeah, it'd be fun. I like to see how the people that make Elder Scrolls and Fallout, how a game in space would work for them, a future game.
For the people that didn't watch E3, it's at the end of the Bethesda conference where they just threw out what we're working on, and then they gave a little bit of a teaser, just a teaser, right? So the teaser for Starfield was Earth, sun shining over, and then a space station in the corner, and then it says Starfield. That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
But it's all we need.
That's all we need. That's right.
Well, because
it's enough to get the rumor mill going for sure.
Exactly. And for certain publishers and certain developers, they've got the track record where you can just say, okay, like, all right, Bethesda's making a new Elder Scrolls-like game. It's going to be in space. That's like front page news as far as I'm concerned. That's gigantic. And even if it is just a logo, but I'm looking forward to it. I'd like to hear more though. But tease me. This is good. Keep me ready for next year, right?
Yeah, right after that little tease, we got one that we've been waiting on for quite a while, and that's Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh, nice.
No subtitle. We don't know where it's going to be at. We had a mountain range, and the classic thump, 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 and
and a city in the background. There's a city in the background.
Yeah. It was like in the lower part of the mountain.
I wonder if anyone can derive something from that, just from that teaser.
People are saying, I can't remember. It's where the Red Guards are from. Can't remember what it's called. Yeah.
All right.
I hate to say, but I think it's like Redoron or something like that. Like
something
that's where they're from.
They're really corny names. But he said that game is not even in production; it's in pre-production. So it's not coming till after Starfield, because Starfield's in production now. So don't hold your breath for Elder Scrolls 6. It's going to be a while. I would suspect either 21 or 22 is when it comes out, because that'll be the 10-year anniversary of Skyrim. No,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's very good.
when did they announce Skyrim and when did it come out? I feel like it
Skyrim
was
came out
early
11/11. That's
I
a
remember that.
date. Yeah.
We had a launch party at my house.
Yeah.
So how about
There's-
the games that they
I don't know if you guys
did do?
They did announce Rage 2. No surprise, since Canada, Walmart
Yeah.
Canada leaked it. They showed.
They should have brought
gameplay of
Walmart
it.
Canada like up on
Yeah.
stage to announce it. Like,
That was awesome.
yeah, they should do that.
It was cool. It was cool. I'm not a big. I wasn't big in the first one. Never played it. Or I played it a little bit, but wasn't a fan. I don't know if I'll
I
check
played
this one
it.
out or not.
I played it. I liked Rage. It was really short though. It was like 6 hours of gameplay. But
It's
in
got
those
good
6
atmosphere.
hours,
It looks like
it
they're
was really
going
good.
all out for this. They had a band come on stage and play an opening for it and everything.
Was
cool.
it Rage Against the Machine?
No, it was Andrew
No.
WK.
Oh, yeah. I
And he
guess that
played.
makes
They
sense.
played the full. This is the weird thing. I don't know why. It's weird. They did a full set of a song,
full song.
and then it was the gameplay, not like during.
Right.
The only one that's actually done the music during the gameplay, which I think is much better, is, well, I guess we'll get later, is in Ubisoft. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
later.
Okay, we'll get to
Uh,
Ubisoft when
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were kind of, the crowd wasn't really into it. Not to say he was any bad. Like, the music was fine. It was, he
Yeah,
performed really
yeah.
well. He performed his heart out, but it's kind of awkward. Like, me personally, I think it's kind of awkward to have that kind of thing go on.
I'm here to
at
see video games.
at a game, like at a game convention. Like, as a fan, we're just wanting to see the news. We want to see the stuff. I don't
That's right.
care about the show. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I think we
And-
should take a quick pause real fast because someone asked. Asked about the PixelPub shirt.
I got the shirt, guy.
Yeah.
And
So
a nice
Brandon, for anyone watching, Brandon is actually rocking the shirt. I just got home from a business trip, and I opened it up and got a whiff of the printer materials. So it needs a wash before I. Yeah. But
I have
will
no
say,
excuses. I should wash it and wear it. I should just do it. I'm
It's
going
a nice
to.
looking shirt. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. I'll be wearing it next week for sure.
that's good.
Yeah. So
But,
yeah, we can get
moving
back on,
on.
but you know,
Yeah.
housekeeping. you know,
Housekeeping.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Rage 2. So Rage 2, I think I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. Only time we'll tell for that, and whether it's not going to be like a next id
Yeah.
blockbuster.
Yeah.
You know,
We'll
like
see.
Doom.
Yep.
But we also have Doom 2, or as it's known as Doom Eternal. It is a direct sequel to Doom from, I think it was 2016.
Mhm.
And it is hell on Earth, because we were on Earth and there were demons and things that look so great.
That was more of a teaser as well, right?
That was kind
Yeah,
of
that was a kind of a short one, but
But I mean,
yeah, it looks
they
good.
said there's some new demons, there's some new weapons, but gameplay probably gonna say about the same as the last one, which that's fine. I haven't played Doom, but I heard it's great. So
hmm
So if they keep it true to like the original releases, where like the first one was Doom was like Hell on Mars, and then of course Doom 2, the sequel was where they brought it back down to Earth. I think they only added Revenants was the only new like monster that they added, but they just had more of the same. And I think if you've got a good game like Doom, more of the same's not a bad thing, especially if you're looking at new locales and new environments. But
Yeah.
similar
People don't
gameplay.
people don't get tired of shooting demons in the face or kicking
Nope.
them or ripping
Never.
them apart or that's tough.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah, and we also got another Wolfenstein game coming out. This time it's set in the 80s, and you play
Mhm.
as the twin daughters of BJ, which was the main character in the series.
Yeah,
And I think you're in maybe London or something.
I think so. Yeah, it's more of.
So-
They said it's kind of more of a spy type of game.
Mhm. That's what I was getting, like, from the title art. It kind
Mm-hmm.
of reminded me of a James Bond or the 70s spy kind of feel, 80s, 70s spy kind of feel.
Yeah,
I was
Actually,
more
one of my
shocked.
favorites- One of my favorite, games, growing up was No One Lives Forever, which was like kind of a 60s.
That's exactly what it reminded me of. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of hopeful that they're going to capture maybe some of that.
I would probably say so. They're gonna probably tap in that a little bit.
Mhm.
And they
I was
also
more shocked that they brought out Wolfenstein New Colossus on the Switch. It will be
Yeah,
coming
that's
in.
fine.
Oh, I'm
that
sure.
way. Yeah.
That
All right,
that, that was
moving on because we're we got so much to cover.
But also with that, they have a new Wolfenstein VR experience, which is supposed to be a cyber pilot, which will probably just be another sitting a spaceship, flying around, shooting things up. But I kind of like that stuff. It's fun on VR. There's not a lot of content there. Of course, we had some stuff for Fallout 76, but we'll talk about that shortly when we get to the.
It gets
another
its
part of
own
the show.
section. A couple of these games are going to get their own section, and
Yeah,
they're
'cause
really
there's
the
a lot
ones
to
that we're
talk about.
kind of those are the ones we're really interested in. This is more of a recap for
Yeah.
maybe people that weren't there, so
Yeah.
or weren't watching. So we'll get you caught up. We'll get you
We'll get you
the
there.
high points.
We'll
Then we'll
get you
talk about the stuff that matters.
Yeah, and moving on to like some of the EA stuff. Command and Conquer is back on your phone.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's available now to download and install, and then promptly uninstall.
Uninstall. Yeah, yeah. It is. It looks a lot like a MOBA sort of, where you have to control a certain point. You control a point, rocket goes off, blows the base, do it again, you win. It's very simplistic. Yeah, they should have called it Command and Conquer. They're doing it for the money, and people
Wait
are
a
not happy
minute.
about that.
We're talking about EA.
We're talking about
Newly formed
EA. They're doing it for the money.
They do God's work.
If you want to watch the lulls, it's basically they put two people, random people, against each other on stage
It was really funny.
just to play this game. Just
I
watch
can't
if you'd
believe
like. It's fine,
can't-
but
I can't believe they did that.
Yeah,
Oh.
one guy turned it off and went and started playing Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what he did. He's like, oh, no Fortnite time. Moving on from that, we got some information on a game that everybody was probably the most hyped for from the
Yeah.
EA part of things, and that's Anthem.
I didn't like the
I mean,
format
was
that they
anyone
did though.
really
I don't know.
hype on it in terms of like expectations, or I think everyone
I
saw
think
the
so.
video that
I think
it
in
was
terms of wanting like what you could see from EA, what you were wanting to see was what Anthem is, because all they showed was a video last year.
yeah. Actually,
Yeah,
we got a
BioWare,
comment in chat about Google,
EA.
just
Oh,
running back
BioWare.
to the Command and Conquer thing. They're asking how dare they ruin Command and Conquer game, and I just want to make it or point out that they've been ruining Command and Conquer games for about 15 years now. So I think it started with Tiberium Sun, and then not much after that was very good.
Nah, Anthem though. We should talk. What are we
All right,
focusing
so
on?
Yeah, let's talk about the high points on Anthem.
Yeah. So Anthem, we'll start off. One of the first things they said: there's no loot boxes in this game. There will be paid skins, but these skins can be unlocked through normal gameplay. There are
Customize
4
your
javelin
javelin.
types. Javelin are the suits that you wear. They kind of represent whatever suit you wear. Kind of represent what role you're going to play. So you have the Ranger, which is your multi-purpose suit. Everybody starts with this one. There's a Colossus, which is the big, tanky, heavy-looking mech. They didn't give a lot of info out about them, but they did give them the names and showed them off a little bit. Storm, which it looked like it was kind of like a elementalist to light armor set, kind of does like your spell casting, looks like a glass cannon type of role. You had your Interceptor, which looked like a kind of like a rogue. They were doing a lot of really
I'm going to
quick.
disagree with this one.
Yeah,
I think it's a healer.
I was going to say it kind of looked like a rogue, but also it could be a a cleric role, a healing role. It could also see that.
Yeah, I think it's a healer because he picked up someone like when that was
Yeah.
dead in the trailer.
So it already has more classes than Destiny, so we're already on a good foot there.
Let's talk about a little later though. Let's talk about a little later because so the biggest thing is that you play a pilot. You get to pick
You're
the
not your
javelin
javelin,
suits.
you are a pilot.
Right. You don't get to pick. Yeah, exactly.
You unlock all the javelins. You get to use any one you want. By the midpoint of the game, you have all of them. You level your skills as a pilot. You don't level your skills as a javelin, so you can jump into any javelin at any time, and it wouldn't affect like, I can't do these sets of missions because this javelin's not high enough. You can still go do that and get gear and that kind of thing.
So that's the most important point though that they stated about Anthem in general is
It'll
that
have day night.
No, it's storyline in your own
Yes.
hub area
Yeah.
that will evolve based on your character. But then the next part when they said is co-op is optional, and that part really doesn't say that it's going to be a massively multiplayer. Doesn't say that. it says it's going to be like more of a Borderlands type experience.
I don't think so.
I guarantee that's going to be it because that's what they said. That's what it said.
To be honest, I don't want to always co-op, and truthfully, a lot of times when I'm playing, people are still asleep, or sometimes I'm playing very early before the kids and the wife wake up. So, I might have an hour and a half to play, and no one else is awake.
The reason I think it's not going to be that way is because there are raids, there are dungeons, there is.
They didn't say that. They didn't say raids.
They did.
They didn't say raids.
They didn't say it during the panel. They came out later in a different Q&A that there is raids and dungeons, and they're called strongholds. Everything that I have on this list is confirmed, hard confirmed. Everything I'm telling you.
How many players in a raid?
They didn't talk about any of that.
Okay. Because there were raids in Borderlands too with 4 players.
I'm assuming it's 4 people because 4 person is a max on the squad size. So I'm guessing it's 4, which is the same as Destiny.
No, 6 players for raids.
I'm talking about as squads, not. Anyway, we're not going to argue about that. We're just listing things off.
I'm going to argue.
We're not going to do it.
All right.
You're going to have character customization. You can customize the javelin. Your character is voiced. The world, it's a living world. There's day and night cycles. It's going to have seasons. They're going to have in-game events going on. The story stuff is going to affect, things are going to change in the world. Not necessarily all around the world, but in your personal world, things will change. There'll be a way to make your game private, where only your friends can jump in, or you can have it public, where it'll just be an open world with a bunch of other people. You can play any mission at any level, and if you go and do a later mission, it's not going to affect your progress. You can still go back and progress like normal. They're thinking about doing cross-platform. It's not set in stone.
Based upon some other news this week, I'm gonna doubt that it'll happen.
I don't know. Maybe this big backlash we'll talk about here in a minute will maybe promote some crossplay.
All right, we'll see. It's a teaser. You gotta stick around if you want to hear more about it.
They're not going to make an Anthem 2, or their focus is not to make an Anthem 2. They want to keep this game, improve it, and grow it, and build a community around it, and not have
I remember hearing that before.
Yeah.
I remember some company mentioning that they were going to make a 10-year game.
Yeah, The Division.
Yeah.
This Anthem's going to release in February of next year on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation at the same time. No delay. You're not going to have to wait 6 months to play it on your other platform.
What if I'm still playing Kingdom Hearts 3 though? Because it launches.
Yeah, you may be.
It definitely launches just a couple weeks.
But moving on to something we all want to talk about: Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Do we?
It was pretty much the guy came on stage and said, "Yeah, we screwed up. It sucked. It was really bad. You guys got really mad." Then they did the whole thing. We understand. We're going to change. We're the things better. And here's some things that people on Reddit have been screaming and wanting: Obi-Wan, Anakin,
playable Anakin Skywalker. Tell me it's the little kid one though. Like it's
yeah,
little...
no, it has to be. He's in a pod racer,
cool.
and
you
just
spawn on a pod
down.
racer and just run people over. Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
But those are things people on the Reddit have been yelling and screaming about. They wanted some more prequel.
I can't believe anyone was screaming for Count Dooku.
They weren't. It was more of Obi-Wan and Grievous is what people really wanted.
Grievous looks cool, but Grievous is kind of a
he looks cool. I think that's the thing. They're bringing capital ship battles back, which
Sounds
was
cool.
the whole. Yeah, that was cool in the second game, the second game. There's supposed to be a new mode. I forget what it's called, but it's similar to Galactic Conquest in a way, where you advance from map to map, which we see in Battlefield 5 or 4, 5, 1, whatever you want to call it. And they said they're going to give a roadmap, which is also something people on Reddit have been wanting because they have not given a roadmap.
Well, roadmaps will make everyone happy. You just keep putting them out.
They said the game is alive and they're going to keep working on it. And you're going to keep supported, but we'll see.
Okay.
I would say like even the CEO came out and was starting to apologize for the way EA has been acting and their focus on community and everything like that, and that's just because of Star Wars Battlefront 2.
It really is.
Mistake.
People got really upset over that game.
Yep.
And
well, I mean, they set themselves up, and it's just like, how evil can EA get? Well, every Star Wars game is like another. Yeah.
How far can we go? And they saw how far they could go.
Well, there's more Star Wars news, though.
Yeah, there's more Star Wars news. We got to sit down and look at a developer as he said, "Oh yeah, we're making a game called Jedi: The Fallen Order by Respawn. It'll come out next year. It's going to be a single-player RPG experience, and that's it." Nothing else. It's all. We also learned this set between episode 3 and episode 4, which there's so much stuff that's already set in that.
There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of hyped for that because
I'm hyped.
Respawn makes good games. Titanfall was a good game. It was overshadowed a bit during the time.
It was.
Titanfall 2 was one of the best games, especially one of the best campaigns I played.
That campaign was one of the, if not one of the best FPS campaigns.
Probably one of the smoothest console shooters I played.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In terms of the just the energy and the pace and everything. So I'm looking forward to what they can do. I'm not gonna shoot down. It was a very lackluster announcement because it's just get up there and say something.
It's just like last year. They said it was coming last year, and then I was expecting at least a trailer this year, and nope. It's like, oh, we got a title now. Thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they talked about Battlefield 5. They confirmed no loot boxes, no pay to win mechanics. There's not going to be any money transactions that way. They're going to have character and weapon customizations. They're bringing that back, where your character will look different. You can customize your weapon, and they said that Battle Royale is confirmed. Yay! More Battle Royale.
They lifted up their hands as like, we gave you what you want. Battle Royale. And
I would be interested to see Battle Royale and Battlefield being done, because if anybody can do it, it's a good solid AAA company.
We've never seen a AAA Battle Royale. This is new ground, so I don't think I'll pick it up, but I'm curious to see. And
Black Ops would be before that,
the original Battle Royale with like 1942. Those are big maps. They they got some things that they could do. So
I'm wondering. I want to see what it is. It'd be interesting to see. They also announced Unravel 2, and they also said it's out now. Go play it.
And no one did.
I've got it downloaded. I haven't played a lot of it. I'm working on it. But
you followed instructions.
Yes.
And went and downloaded, swiped your credit card.
It doesn't cost. Well, I'm playing on the EA Access. I wanted to do that little free trial thing. I'm playing it free for 10 hours. I'm not. Yeah. No,
beat it in 10 hours.
Yeah, beat it in 10 hours. Hopefully.
I like it.
But it's cool. It's cool to see a game come out like as it's announced. That's
cool. That's fun. It's cool when they do that.
But never gonna move on to some Microsoft stuff, and hope you guys are ready for some Halo, because we got a Halo Infinite on now, and we seen Master Chief with his helmet, not with his head, but he was holding his helmet, and that's all we saw. And some people.
No, we saw trees.
We saw
trees and like rhinos with two horns.
World.
Yeah.
There's something to gather.
It was a little bit more than Elder Scrolls, but not a lot.
Yeah,
but
they're always known for that kind of video. Like, you remember when they did the thing with like the kids, like the two kids are like laying in the grass field for Halo 3, and like one of them turns into a skeleton, and it's like all of a sudden like it shows Master Chief, and it's like, oh, Halo 3 is announced. Not quite the same hype that it used to have. Like, it's not the same impact, because that was like, oh man, Halo 3 is coming. But that's their style, so. It's what I expect from them.
Yeah.
You can gather that it's going to be more open world, though.
I
can
so.
see that. Yeah,
maybe.
I can see that.
Probably.
Because it's not called Halo 6. In my opinion, it's not going to follow your traditional Halo set of rules. It's going to be.
I think they're dropping the 6 because it's starting to get up there.
I mean, it is 6 is a high number.
Microsoft is bad with numbers. That's right. You're right.
They don't know how to count. This is true. They went from 5 to infinite. That's like, oh, what comes after 5? All the numbers come after 5. Oh man! But we had. Speaking of high numbers, we got Forza Horizon 4.
Mm-hmm. I prefer Horizon over the traditional motorsports, and that's just mainly because they have the off-road capabilities. And there's something about it. It's like it feels really good,
it's
just like running around on a
Need
beach.
for Speeds games where it's open world-ish, where you drive around and that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I'll catch it on a sale, but I'm looking forward to it. If it looks good enough, I might pick it up day one.
Yep. We had some new Gears of War games, pop game for the mobile, and
yeah, okay,
yeah. I like pops. I collect pops, so that's like, oh, cool, okay. They announced Gears Tactics, which is
that makes the most sense.
Game. It is like an XCOM game,
which
looks cool.
That sounds good.
I hope there's some depth to it, and it's not just a skinned version of XCOM kind of thing. But
it looked like it was on mobile though. Like it looked bad.
That's they showed little about it. Hopefully, it's not just a mobile game. Hopefully, it is a full.
Yeah, because the
full
graphics
game.
didn't look good.
But we'll
at
see.
all for
We'll
that.
see.
Yeah, and then Gears 5, right?
And then they said Gear 5. They did say because everybody was kind of like, "Oh, Gears, just a pop game." Oh, okay, a tactics game. And they're like, "Okay, and we have Gears 5." And they showed trailer for it, and I think
is it like Phoenix's grandson now?
it's the same characters
Marcus
from
Phoenix
4.
is still wheeling around in a wheelchair.
He's not in a wheelchair though. He shaved his beard. He looks a little bit younger now. Yeah, me and Blaze are both big Gears fans, and I'm excited. More 5, more Gears.
Different main character though.
It is a different one from the last game. The character that is the main character in this game was in the last game, but it wasn't the main character.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't really get much connection there. Like I didn't like any of the characters in the previous one.
Yeah.
Did you feel a little bit odd too? There was like sort of like sorcery going on and like in Gears games.
It's weird. I don't know. If you played 4, you kind of understand what's going on, but they did show some stuff in this one that's like, huh.
Okay. Yeah.
But
building up on the world, maybe. That's fine.
If you play 4, there is some odd stuff going on in the world. There's a lot of world building going on for sure.
Gotcha. So I'll tell you one thing that was interesting about the Microsoft exposition, though, is that they didn't do a lot of talking about their stuff. It was all like other people's things.
There's a lot of people's
like,
stuff. Yeah.
If you got a game to promote, come on in here. We're going to announce 18 games.
They showed I think close to 100 games.
Total, right. But it was like 18 games that they featured where people had like time to actually come out and talk. So you only get an hour, right?
It was like back-to-back trailers. It would stop, show something, trailer, something else, trailer.
Yeah, it was all go. But one game we're very happy that they took some time to show off.
Yeah.
Was Fallout 76.
Yep. So sit back for a couple minutes and relax, and let me tell you a little bit about Fallout 70. I want to start off with saying, don't get disappointed because it's not exactly what everybody was expecting. But at the same time,
I'm excited.
Wait, what?
Hopefully,
me?
hopefully optimistic.
I'm crazy excited.
It's cool. It is not your traditional Fallout game. So it is a prequel. It is in West Virginia. It is exactly 20 years after the bombs fall down, like we talked about. It is always online only. There are any humans that you see in this world are playable characters. There are no NPC human.
I thought they said you can play solo.
You can play solo, but it is online only. And
so you just never see anyone?
No, you'll see people. I don't think.
No. I think they said. No, I think that's what they said. They said you can play it solo.
He said you can play solo, but that means not grouping up. Like you can play the game by yourself.
You won't get
on the same map with like 30 other people.
He said they're thinking about making private matches, but that's not going to be at launch. That might be something later. These are all things. This is stuff that came out of the documentary that came out about it right after it was announced, and some of the things we talked about in the Bethesda thing.
Okay,
cool.
Right.
Well, whatever.
Bigger.
It'll be interesting, and I think what you're, we did some speculation last week. If you remember, we kind of said, hey, what we think it might be. And I think we both settled on it's probably going to be a Rust/Ark type of game, and it looks like we might have been there.
We nailed it on the head. It's the map's 4 times bigger. It is online. There is no server selection. You just kind of get dropped into a game. The servers will be 24 to 32 players, and as of right now, they said that you will always be able to see everybody on the map at all times. So you just pull your map up and goes, oh, there's so-and-so over here in this corner of the map, which is odd. Yeah. The more we talk about it, you're going to be like, huh. They said they're going to have...
I don't see how this is going to work.
It's
odd.
It's odd.
Because you say you drop into a server. No, you say you drop into a server, but you're building, right? But then when you play for 2 hours, you log off. You get dropped into another server, you do the same thing?
I'm assuming that it'll be sort of like your
Persistent
stuff will
worlds.
be at your spot. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Like Conan Exiles does, or Ark.
Yeah.
Or Rust.
But you log into a server. These are not servers you pick. These are servers that are assigned to you. That's what I'm saying. So it'll pick by you.
It's odd. We're not fully aware on that whole situation yet, but they said there's not a server selection screen or anything.
Right.
The equipment has duration again. Food spoils now. I think equipment duration was in New Vegas in 3. I think
Yeah.
It was. Yep.
So bringing that back.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I think it works. For like a Rust like, it works.
It makes sense.
The building aspect is a lot like 4. It's got some new stuff. It's called a camp. It's a camp system where it's not like you build that massive base and that's where it stays. Your camp is like you can place it down. If it gets destroyed or whatever, you can use a template and place it somewhere else.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. If you have the resources, of course.
Mhm.
They're working on putting measures in to prevent griefing. They haven't really said what those measures are, but there will be something in place. Keep people from just coming, destroying your crap. They said there's going to be trading. They're maybe even having a way you can set up a shop and have vendors. And then they said there's nukes in the game. And they said this during the panels. You can go grind out, get some launch codes, get a nuke, and pick somewhere on the map to drop a nuke, and it nukes that spot.
Right.
Wow.
Destroys it like a nuke.
The ultimate PvP.
The ultimate PvP. This unlocks an in-game kind of grind to that area. You go in there, you get high-level mobs. You need to do it in groups. You get resources, high-level mats and stuff, because there's crafting, and crafting is very important in this game. But after
Now,
a while,
I didn't see the developer for this one, or I didn't see the video. So, did they say who the developer was? I mean, this is done by.
it's from the game studio, the Bethesda Game Studios. Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay.
After a while, the nuke stuff goes back to normal. So you can't just nuke the whole map. The whole map be nuked. After a while, everything goes back to normal and resets. But there is a quest line. They said there is a main quest line, and it will take a while to complete, whatever that means.
Okay.
So I don't know how since there's no NPCs, there'll be maybe robots or terminals or holotape, something maybe that advances the story. They said they're gonna have free DLC for years to come, keep the game fresh and kind of evolving and working. They have 2 teams that's going to be constantly working on DLCs: a minor update team and a major, large content changing team. There is going to be paid cosmetics, but that also going to be earned through gameplay. And this is not. They said this is not the future of Fallout. This is a side project they've been wanting to do for a long time. Future Fallout games will be like your traditional Bethesda RPG.
I wonder why they'd even say that though. Like, are they kind of like hedging their bets? Like,
I think when people see that, they're like, "Oh, the Fallout's ruined now. It's always going to be like this, that kind of thing."
No,
people have changed franchises like that before.
There was a moment where when they announced online, they showed it in the background, and then they dropped 4 people in a team, and they started mowing stuff down in a Fallout universe, and that's just exactly what they wanted. They said, we wanted to merge multiplayer and Fallout, and they did it, and they showed it, and I freaked out. I was like, "This is amazing! Yeah. This sounds awesome!" So it's not going to be like I can play Fallout 4 with friends now. It is a Rust or a Conan Exiles, or I'm thinking it is going to be
probably good.
A Fallout with 4 players.
Maybe a little bit of Destiny, because they're talking about having in-game grinding, so they're going to have.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
some Destiny like loot grind kind of thing going on. So it'll be cool to see. I'm interested to see more about it. Might pre-order it and check the beta out. We'll see.
It's a lot on 76. A lot on it.
A lot on it. So I hope that piqued everybody's curiosity, and you know what to expect with Fallout now. Moving on to Division 2 that we also knew nothing about until this started.
Very hype.
Drop some info on this. It's setting Washington, D.C., 7 months after the first game. So we're in the springtime now, no more snow. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. We got a new aesthetic to see.
I like the snow.
Snow for 2 years. Wait, what?
They didn't talk a lot about things, so I'm guessing, in terms of the normal leveling experience is probably going to be sort of the same. They really talked more about what the end game is going to be like. They said they're going to have specialist trees you go into when you hit max level. And when you start, you pick a signature weapon, and this weapon isn't going to replace anything in your current loadout. It's going to be a complement to your current set of weapons. And they showed a crossbow, like a grenade launcher, and a sniper rifle.
That's right.
So, yeah, you pick those, you go into a special tree, and I think they advance as your character advances.
Yeah, at the end game show, they actually explained a little bit more. They said all of these specializations have different specs trees that you will unlock new abilities and such. So it's like leveling up your character, getting to endgames, picking a class, and then leveling that up again. That's what I've seen, or at least I heard from. So that sounds good to me.
Yeah. The combat does look overhauled in the little gameplays they showed. It didn't look like you're just unloading into a guy and he's like a big bullet sponge. It looked like you took less shots to kill an enemy. Kind of made it more realistic.
I think that's good because that bullet sponge, that's annoying.
That's what it looked like because they were taking people down pretty quick. They wasn't just sitting there unloading clips after clip into the same guy. It was a couple shots and he was down. So that's good. That's good.
I'll take it.
They said the map is going to be 25% larger than the first, and the first one's pretty big. I think
there was a lot of content there.
They added 2 more larger spaces after the initial release.
Yeah, the underground and more dark zone, right?
Yeah, bigger dark zone. They had actually added another portion of New York, which is kind of small, but it's nice. They said they're going to have raids now.
Yes.
They currently have incursions, which to me is more like a dungeon or a strike if you're playing Destiny. And this one will be a raid, so I'm curious to see what raids are like.
I was so hype when they said that. And then the next thing right after that was even more hype, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah.
I would like to caution everyone, though.
Yeah.
You might be hyped, but this very game series existed on hype before the first one came out, and everyone was mad at it. So why don't we just be cautiously optimistic?
I would be cautiously
kind of hoping it's good.
Yeah. It looks good. I'm gonna buy it, of course.
No, Rob.
I like the first one. They said they're going to have a major focus on in-game, which is what they lacked in the first one. I think they understood that, so they're going to focus on the in-game. They said they're going to have 3 free DLCs in the first year. They're called episodes, I think, in the first year, completely for free.
Right there.
That's good.
Unlike Destiny and unlike the first Division. So that's good. I like free DLC. I don't think they should charge for these short little 5-hour experiences they add 3 months after the release.
They might have. Honestly, I was thinking that in a boardroom after they heard Destiny 2 season pass, and they're like, "Okay, we're getting this for free." And then because then they're gonna undercut basically Destiny, and hopefully people get more people.
Question. They know if they can pull off a Destiny 2, then they've got a player base because they are the only game in town when it comes to a looter shooter, other than Destiny 2. And Destiny 2 is launching with $70, $80 to play the game this year, on top of what you already spent. So, I mean, it's kind of a wash, right?
Yeah.
So you're paying $60 up front for Division 2 with 3 episodes for the first year, completely free.
So $60 gets you the first year, no matter what they add, you got it.
Yeah.
Although they have a track record of
not
being good when they launch. So, just take it with a grain of salt is really my only comments. I was also hyped for Division. I bought the book.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, overall the experience was just not great.
What they're saying sounds great for people who want them to fix the things that were wrong.
Yeah.
But until we see it in person, don't go overboard. Don't pull a Destiny 2 because we all know what happened with Destiny 2.
Hey, it's gonna come back though.
We'll see. They announced Dying Light 2, which is of course the big parkouring zombie game. This one looks like it's set in London, I think.
I barely even noticed this title on the screen because of the next title directly after.
At the very end of the Microsoft show, we're skipping a couple things, but at the end, we'll go ahead and talk about this. At the very end, there's all right, bye, everybody, and then it kind of had a moment where it was getting hacked into, and they played the Cyberpunk 2077 trailer, which is what a lot of people have been waiting for. It was cool. It was cyberpunky. They didn't really show gameplay in the trailer. They just kind of showed off the art style, the setting.
Well, that was all in-game engine.
Yeah, that's what it said. It's all in-game engine. Yep, rendered.
Yeah, if you watch that video, I mean, I get it that it's not true gameplay, but if the real in-game engine looks like that,
it's impressive.
It's CD Projekt Red.
But they also show Battlefront stuff. I say this is rendered in engine, and it's but this is optimized.
Right, and I'm sure Cyberpunk is not gonna look that good as you're just running down the streets.
Look good.
Oh, it looks amazing, and just you know, we called it last week. You and I both called it Game of the Year before we even saw the trailer.
It will be.
Andrew said it was probably going to suck, so I don't know.
I didn't say that. I
Maybe
didn't
don't
say
pay
that.
attention to what he says because clearly
Pull
he's
up the
wrong.
VOD. Someone pull the
Apparently,
VOD.
I'm not allowed to play it because that's the rule. I don't know.
Yeah.
After this trailer came out, they did release a little bit more information about it. The protagonist is called V.
Mm-hmm.
It is a voice protagonist, and you can be male or female. There is character customization, unlike Witcher, so you will get to customize V and how they look.
Yeah.
They said this is going to be a mature game for mature audience. So you know those parts about Witcher that were mature, they're probably going to be that in this game, plus probably a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
There's because it's of course in a different setting. It's kind of more adult themed. If you've seen like some cyberpunk shows and that kind of thing. It's got a full day and night cycle. They didn't show night in the trailer, but they said that there will be day, there will be night, and you know it does evolve and it does change like how people act on the gameplay and that kind of thing. There's not a traditional level system. You do have skill trees you advance through, and you have a thing called street cred that goes up and kind of determines on what you can do and where you can be and how people react to you.
And that's from the cyberpunk
The previous game,
mythos from like when the late '80s when they actually came out with this stuff. So it's all this like retro futuristic '80s look thing. So and everything's neon. Everyone's got like clashy type of clothing and everything. It's all like way too bright, but it's cool. It's really cool.
Really cool. It's really cool. And they said that all choices are going to have a major effect in the future of the game, or even you could see instantaneous like effects of your choice. So this kind of leans to make me think it's not going to be like a Mass Effect, you know, where you're like, I picked this, and then at the end of the story, it's like it resolved itself that even if you pick the other way, it kind of comes out to be the same thing. This sort of sounds like they're going the route of like Detroit, where you have these huge branching storylines. You pick this choice, and you have a different set of stories because you picked this choice.
Yeah, The Witcher was kind of like that too. Like it would change. Like
was.
you would play a mission, and based upon your decisions, like you could roll into a mission, and it'd be like, hey, you know, take mercy on this person, and it unlocks this whole other quest chain. Or you could just like kill him and be like, okay, well, it just doesn't happen. You go down some other path. So, yeah, the branching storyline is something they do very, very well. Now, one thing I don't know if we mentioned or not, but one thing I definitely want to call out. There's some questions about what type of gameplay it is. It is a first-person shooter RPG.
Yeah, I forgot.
And open world at that too.
Open world, first person.
So you can probably think of Skyrim as the only other one I can think of that's like that.
Yeah.
And this is going to be much more of a living
Fallout.
world.
Fallout.
Oh
is
yeah,
exactly
that,
like
of course, yeah, that too. Yeah.
There was a private demo, I think, that some people got to play, and they said that it feels a lot like the original Deus Ex that came out. So.
Yeah, maybe.
I have to say, like, Witcher, I didn't see a lot of branching story. It was the same as Mass Effect, but you just made choices, and in the very end, it made something. I didn't see a lot of stuff happening during gameplay.
Like
every mission you did had like multiple outcomes, depending upon the choices.
But it didn't do anything in the world, as far as I knew. I didn't change anything when I went to the next mission.
It's the quest line that you would, because they needed to get to the Wild Hunt type of scenario at the end.
But here's my point: if they're saying major effects in the future of while you're playing the game, that means there's going to be multiple branches, which would mean that it's possibly going to shorten your experience.
I'm tired of you
that you have to replay it. That's what I'm saying. So
I don't get all the hate. We don't hate any of the games you love, so I don't know why you're hating on the games I love.
I get to have a voice too, bro. Yeah, we'll see. I want to see Cyberpunk be well, but
we'll see more about it.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they take that Witcher aspect and they just like take it up so high. Because I mean, in the Wild Hunt, it was a very specific end to the game. Like the Wild Hunt is going to come and attack, you know, the castle, and you've got to be prepared for that. Who, depending upon who was there, was dependent upon choices you made throughout the game too.
Mass Effect, same thing as Mass Effect.
We'll see.
Same thing.
It's the people that's making this is gonna be deep.
Yeah, I got faith. CD Projekt Red, ride or die.
Yeah, I mean, they made The Witcher 3, which is considered the greatest game of the current generation. So,
now there was some other games, I guess, at the show too, right?
These you have on this list. I don't really care much for. They showed a samurai like I don't know how you call it it sort of looked like gosh, what's that game called? Dark Souls. Kind of like Dark Souls, but you played Samurai
It's like a
Sword.
Tenchu Dark Souls, which if you're into the Tenchu universe, probably might be
So
interesting.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna butcher this. Sekiro.
Sekiro?
The Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is what it's called.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
showed
so kind of a
sequel.
Souls game, and
Yeah.
with a ninja twist, which might be cool.
They had a Ori and the Blind Forest sequel come up. I don't remember what it's called. The Ori and something Wisp, maybe.
Yeah, it's always a very pretty looking game, but
Yeah.
and the gameplay is good, but it's not a AAA
Not-
kind of title. I'm really surprised it got the featuring that it did.
They had a game called Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, which is another one of those cinematic movie pick choices kind of games,
Mhm.
like Detroit and those type of games. Maybe not as deep
Yeah.
as those, but like the Telltale games, that kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
They showed Crackdown, and it's delayed again. No surprise. This game was supposed to be a launch title, I think, for the Xbox, and
It is 6 years delayed from its
It's-
original
it's like
release date.
Oh,
It's like a worse off Just Cause. Like, just I don't know what to say. Like,
It's
it
weird.
looks terrible. It looks
I hope
terrible.
it's good because the first
I hope it's
Crackdown
good.
was one of my favorite games, and
Crackdown
Crackdown
one.
2 was so bad. It was a terrible follow up.
And we saw Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yay!
So you announced last week that it was going to release,
I did.
and it was
And-
going to release in 2018.
That's what I said. I did. And
And
they
I said,
proved me
please
wrong.
don't lie to our listeners. Please do not spread the propaganda. Please do not spread the misinformation. This is fake news, and you spread it.
I did.
And look what happened.
Fake news. I'm gonna correct it and say it's coming out January 2019. So it got pushed back 2 months from what I said. They showed off Frozen and a lot of Frozen, and they also showed off a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean, which I hated about the second one because it looked so odd. The art style did not go well with the rest of the game.
They had previous things. They had Tron in the previous one.
Tron was stylized. It was in the same art style as the characters were. But when you entered the Pirates of the Caribbean world, they went for PS2 hyper realism.
Yeah.
And it was
I
so
gotcha.
odd.
I
It was
gotcha.
so odd. And they're doing the same thing with this one. If they would have went with the art stylized, I'd have been fine with it. But I don't like
Like
the-
Disney Infinity would
Yeah.
have been cool look.
Right, but I don't like the hyper realistic look. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't top well.
Is this all
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, or is this more later?
That's it.
Later?
They didn't show
Oh,
any.
is
Well,
it?
we can talk about how their trailer and stuff they showed didn't have any sound effects besides character voices and music track in the background. There'd be like an explosion or the keyblades clinking, but there was no noise. It was hi.
There was-
ho!
There was great
Yeah.
gameplay. There was
There
great
was gameplay.
gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was odd.
You'll be able to play in 2020 when they actually launch it.
No, when's the release?
It releases January 2019.
There we go. There it is.
But it could be delayed. There is a lot of months
It
between
could
now
be
and then.
delayed. Here's our game with no music. It's coming out in
Yeah.
6 months. Okay.
And some big things that people were expecting. Battletoads is being remade. They didn't have a 2 on there.
I mean,
Yeah, so-
Microsoft owns Rare.
Yeah.
Why not?
So
It might be a
a
like a
meme.
live title. Like
I think it's playing off the meme of it.
yeah, it could be.
And they showed a game, which when you're watching, you're like, wow, they're going to make Skate 4.
That's what I was thinking.
They're making the meme real. And it's like Sessions. You're like, what? It's not Skate.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, skateboard
Yeah.
game. All right.
Okay.
Moving on. Ubisoft. We've seen a little bit more about Starlink, which is still not out, which I feel like we've been talking about for a while in terms of, I think it's 30.
Isn't that the one where the guy from Zelda is flying in a spaceship?
I don't
with the
know, but
fox?
you buy, it's the Skylanders of space type deal going on.
Oh, okay.
Toys
And
to
they
life.
show,
Toys
yeah,
to life. Yeah.
Toys of Life. And they showed
Yeah.
that if you got it on the Switch, there's a Star Fox exclusive content.
I was hoping you were going to tell me it was a Star Fox Zelda crossover game.
No,
Not
No.
Ubisoft.
no, it's Disney stuff title. So
Yeah.
Ubisoft and Nintendo's got I guess a pretty good relationship going right now.
Yeah, they're BFFs.
They're
They got
BFFs.
Miyamoto coming up, putting on dumb guns for a good game, but
They did. That was a good game. They
Yeah.
did talk about Donkey Kong Rabbits, but nothing more than what we talked about last week. It was just they're showing it off, and
Good
they showed
music.
a new-
I thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
they showed a new Trials game coming out called Trials Fusion. So if you're into those games, there you go. New Just Dance game, and the leaks were right. Assassin's Creed Odyssey's coming out.
Yes.
We speculated last week about what the setting was going to be. This is before Origins. It is set in the Peloponnesian War, which is Sparta fighting Athens. And they're making some really interesting choices. I don't think we'll see anything about the Brotherhood or Assassins in this one, considering that started in Origins, and we've seen that happen. There's no hidden blade. They said there's not going to be... Well, I don't think they said it, but we never saw it. They said your signature weapon is the Spear of Leonidas, and that's what you'll use to assassinate, stab, through, that kind of thing.
That could be cool.
Yeah. In terms of story, you're a Spartan outcast. You can pick to be male or female this time, and your character is voiced, of course. And we now have player choices, story choices in Assassin's Creed game. I don't expect it to be...
That could be interesting.
I don't expect it to be very deep. I would say it's probably going to be like Mass Effect, those kind of choices. But that's something. Sometimes, I'd play Origins and be like, that's a dumb thing. Why would my character do that? Now I can be like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's dumb. They showed a little bit of the combat, and it looks like a more fluid and more advanced version of the Origin. So it's not just me flinging around my weapon. There's there's some move sets and things you can do now. They said the naval combat's returning, so you'll see a naval system similar to Black Flag.
So good. That's going to be great.
Did you play the Origins naval combat, Andrew?
You mean...
No, I haven't played that one. But you're saying Brandon's saying
this one is
Black
like Black Flag, where you'll
That's
have
what
a
he
boat.
Black Flag.
It'll have a boat. It'll have a crew. You'll have fighting. You'll have war. You can customize your boat all the way down to the crew, and what the crew's wearing, and how the boat looks. The mast.
That excites me right there.
That's just telling me I can't buy the game. It's going to be too much work. There's going to be too many things to do.
Rob is so burned out on Assassin's Creed, and they did.
Yeah, give me a couple months, and I'll be like, oh man, I'm kind of itching to play some Assassin's Creed again.
Yeah,
but right now I'm just like, I survived it.
Yeah, they did show Skull and Bones. Nothing really new on that. They just showed some gameplay and what you do in that game. It kind of looks like a more in-depth version of Sea of Thieves, but more focused on your boat instead of you as a pirate.
So if we're giving it general context, Skull and Bones is your more realistic. It's not fantasy.
Right.
Whereas, and then of course, there's a lot more involved with battles and teaming up with people.
But it does keep the whole, you accomplish this together. But it is a pirate game, so the person that has helped you can turn around and sink your ship.
Just sink your ship, right? Right. So it's basically that same thing. That's basically the same world. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool. They didn't say a whole lot about it. So, but they showed some things off about it. So that's cool.
Yeah, and they'll announce some more things, I'm sure, as the year goes on. There's still Gamescom over in Germany and a couple other places. So, probably some more announcements to come.
The more I see about Skull and Bones, the more I'm interested. When it first was announced, I was like, And last year I was kind of like, okay. And this year I'm kind of like, I might check that out eventually.
Yeah, this year they almost aligned it more towards Sea of Thieves, like Sea of Thieves, the gameplay wise. But then I want to see something. I want to see something more that differentiates them. Yeah. That differentiates. It's something different.
Well, you want to see something very different from Skull and Bones or Sea of Thieves?
Sure.
It's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
we're jumping to Sony then.
Yeah,
we're jumping to
Sony. Jump to Sony because we got to move along. Spider-Man, they showed some gameplay of it. Looks like Arkham. More acrobatic. You have a lot of flying because you're Spider-Man, of course. So you're in the air, punching people around, flinging webs. The villains, they showed Rhino, Negative, Static Shock, Vulture, Scorpion, and then one mystery person that was not shown on screen. And it was
what did he say?
Going, not you or something.
Oh, okay, that's what he said.
Right.
And, I can't believe I missed that trailer. I need to watch it, but I'm pretty hyped for this game. It's made by Insomniac.
Yeah,
so you're Insomniac. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank producers, and it's Spider-Man. So I mean, I'm pretty big on that.
If you like those Arkham games, you'll definitely like this. Especially
love the Arkham games. Yeah. Although the previous one really was kind of like the Arkham games, but it was like kind of buggy. So it was like, oh man, I got a budget Arkham game.
This looks good, and I think Sony went all in on this. So
Was it this time that they showed combat though? Because last year they didn't show
they
combat.
did show combat.
They
That's
showed
what I'm saying.
combat
It looks
before.
like
Yeah.
it looks like
Oh, they
Arkle
did
this
show
time.
combat before? Okay.
It was a very streamlined, like, and they showed like a quick time events and stuff. But they did show a little bit last year. This was more of an actual person sitting there playing the game look to it. They were running through, punching people, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I like Thrust's
combos.
idea that Miles Morales might be part of this. Which, if you guys don't know, he's the other Spider-Man. He's like a younger.
Maybe it could be.
Yeah,
but I don't think
he's a
it was
fan
him
favorite.
sitting. They were on top. They were on the top of the building, and it kind of like the character came up floating. So I would assume on the back of a glider, like Green Goblin or a Hobgoblin. And I'm kind of leaning towards it being Hobgoblin. If he was like, "Oh, not you," because Hobgoblin wasn't Hobgoblin his friend, or was that the? I can't remember.
So there's different iterations. One day we'll go into one day I'll review a comic and we'll just go crazy on Spider-Man. But
I think it's going to be a Sinister Six.
His backstory and friend and enemy relationships are just too much to even try to cover right now.
And they also showed some more Last of Us Part 2, and they showed gameplay this time. Did you guys see this gameplay?
Yes, I
did
did.
not.
I did.
Rob, go watch this gameplay.
Okay, I'll be back.
This was so incredibly smooth and immersive. Like,
intense.
it's hard to describe. Like, you have to really watch it to get to describe. But like things like they were dodging, and when they dodge, they hit a car, and like she actually hits the car, leans against it, and pushes herself back off of it. When like they were just sprinting, and like there was a bottle, they picked it up and threw it with no breaking animations. Just her running, grabbed the bottle, threw it. Like,
they're getting so well where when a character hits something, anything, it has like a cinematic feel to it. It's almost natural, and they're doing that with every
The Last
item.
of Us is
The Last
probably. I mean, when you say Last of Us, you're really talking about maybe a top 10 game of all time.
Yeah, it is
easily, I think, and just the amount of like emotion that they pack into it. That's really what I'm looking forward to. I want to kind of feel the same stuff as the previous one, where you see that giraffe like out of nowhere, and you're like, all of a sudden you're like kind of hopeful like for things, and then of course the very ending of the game where you lie.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
That was interesting stuff. So yeah, I mean, just seeing that there's another one coming out, I'm definitely hyped on it. I'll be there.
Yeah. There's the part where they, your character gets seen, and they're running away and they hide in the grass, and the people are running around, they're talking to each other, they're like, "Where'd she go?" And like, they were just random enemies, and they're like, "Ethan was over here, and now Ethan's gone." Like, they gave a random character a name, and like, it was just. It felt very real, like you were kind of watching a movie, but it was gameplay.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
What was the Division guy? It was always one name that they always yelled out. I wonder if it's the same.
Derek.
They should, or something like that. Yeah. And then this one's gonna be Ethan, probably.
Hope not.
That would be hilarious. Where's Ethan?
Where's Ethan? Like, man,
I forgot. It was like they shot Carl.
Yeah, it's the Division.
Carl
if you don't know.
They'll yell it out twice, like there's like twins or something.
They showed a game called I'm gonna butcher this one. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, as close as I could get. Yeah.
It looks like a Witcher samurai game.
Yes.
So,
actually, maybe more of a God of War samurai game.
Maybe even a little bit a God of War. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
It's set.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't see the Sony one, so I'm behind on this. But
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I'll
like
be watching it.
They got on a horse and they were riding, and the mud was being kicked up by the horse and was going places. There was they're at a spot with a bunch of leaves, and like as you move, the leaves are like sticking to your feet or being brushed off in groups and stuff.
Yeah,
the samurai fights are.
I love samurai fights.
Yeah,
samurai games in general. I mean, are just they're so cool, and they got such a rich, unique. I mean, you can throw fantasy into a samurai game, and it fits perfect. You can make it very authentic, and it still feels really good. So. Yeah, this is going to be cool.
Yeah,
now, this is just for me, just a story context, because we already know that, I guess, Japan was invaded by the Mongols, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in this one, at least. And so they're protecting their livelihood, basically.
Yeah. And I think one thing we should mention is that PS4 has the worst exclusives. just because I think we're all in agreement of that, and I think just about
All
everyone
these games we
thinks
talked
that.
about
And
are all
anyone,
exclusives, and they all look bad.
and anyone who disagrees is in denial.
Oh,
So
man.
that's a shout out for chat.
Speaking of
For anyone
exclusives,
listening later.
we saw more Death Stranding and some gameplay. And I can sum up what we saw as walking simulator. And weird. When they first showed the game, I
More
didn't know what was going
confusion.
on. And then they showed it again, I still didn't know what was going on. And they showed more stuff in gameplay, and I'm still like, what the hell is going on with this
I know.
game? It is
Right.
so weird.
Yeah.
But it looks
okay,
beautiful.
Maybe Kojima needs to be like locked in a room and like having like people over his shoulders and just be like, "Hey, no, look, make a good
You
game.
can't-
Don't
you can't do
do
this."
what you
It is
don't make a man give birth to a baby. It's too weird."
so weird.
Every year, it's more questions of, and
It
it
is.
confuses the crap
they
out
show,
of us.
They show more
Yeah.
stuff about it, and it just makes more questions, and I still don't know what this game is.
All right. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
repeat what I said earlier, that Kojima is, he's a talent, right? And
He's talent,
he has a
that's for
track
sure.
record of making some very incredible games. So
Yeah.
I'm willing to give it to him. I don't think I'm there day one, but I'm definitely
Oh,
interested
definitely
to
not.
see what it's going to be. So
Yeah.
I think it's hard to like say, oh yeah, this game's not going to be good. It's definitely going to be weird.
This
but
may be
I'm not-
something I watch instead of play.
Is there anything you can extract from that? At least, like, just spit some stuff out of what
It
you
kind of has very. I don't even know what to compare it to.
We're not comparing it, but like, there's something about it's a lot about life. Like, this is like somewhat of a purgatory, somewhat, or something,
It looks like you're on another planet.
or a
Because you're
planet.
like in a spacesuit looking kind of thing. You're carrying around supplies. It looks like you're adventuring out. The monsters are invisible, and then they're not invisible, and they're ghosts. And you have a flashlight that makes a lot of noise and blinks, and you're trying to not get caught. And I'm like, this flashlight's so loud.
You're carrying a baby.
You're carrying a baby.
You're carrying a baby, and you're
And, like,
getting through this. Yeah.
The baby looks really weird. He's like all excited to be a floating baby in an incubator looking thing, and it's like, what?
There's a lady that is very
There's-
important
Yeah,
to
it's another
the
lady.
story, but she doesn't tell you who she is. She just talks to you.
Devil
about-
May Cry 5, another game coming out from
I don't know.
Good Folks at Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed Devil May Cry 5. So if you like those games, I'm not really into those, but they do. That one's coming out.
Oh, great. The normal was it Devil May Cry? Just Devil May Cry was a great game. I thought it was great.
This
Yeah.
one's 5 though. So this
That's
one's
a good
true
series.
sequel to 4.
Yeah, they got kind of weird, different characters being the stars and everything, and kind of going back and forth from Dante. But he's such an alpha, like badass, main character. So if they're going back to him, that'd be cool. If they're doing emo Dante
It was
again,
it was
I don't
still
know
the
if
emo
I'll be
looking
in.
dude, but I think both of them are in there.
Okay,
He lost his arm though. That's one thing. That's the main thing.
He does has a
that'll
robot
happen.
arm.
That'll happen.
Well, this arm is a big tool. It seems in the trailer. Like, he uses as a shield. He uses as another
It's-
blade.
It's
Whatever.
it's Devil May Cry 5, so you're still gonna be
Yeah.
hitting things with a big sword and shooting things in the air for combos.
For fans, you're going to be happy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
For everyone else, you'll probably catch it on a bargain bin or
Yep.
get it free 1 month with PlayStation Plus.
PS Plus. Perfect.
Yep.
They showed was it No? Is this No? I don't know.
Neo.
Neo 2. So that was another Dark Souls like game
Mhm.
with an Asian setting.
Yeah, it's Samurai. It did very well. The first
did
one.
well. It was good to
very
good,
nice
so.
looking game.
Something that surprised me that they shown, I was not expecting this, a Resident Evil 2 remake. And
Yeah.
when I say remake, this is not a remaster. This is a remake. So gameplay is changing, graphics completely overhauled.
2 was
And-
probably one of my favorites of the series.
You're going to say probably one of the more well-known or best? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Besides 4, yeah. You're
The
probably right.
crowd went wild when they saw
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So
It was pretty impressive. I'm not a big
Mhm.
horror game or Resident Evil fan. That was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what they can do with it because it was a big step up from 1. Because Resident Evil was, that in a mansion, it's kind of weird. Like the characters weren't real great. This put it in like an urban setting. It made it feel more real and very gritty. Real grimy. So, yeah, I think it was probably one of the ones I liked the best, and I'd like to see, what they're able to do with it on a re-release or a remaster. or a remake. So
Sounds gonna be cool. It's that whole
Yeah.
like I don't know. Maybe we'll see more remakes. We got like Final Fantasy VII coming never. Remake coming.
That's a date.
yeah, they did something with 12 though, right? That was the other news. So 12,
No, they didn't mention anything in Final Fantasy.
nothing on 12.
Nope.
Okay.
Moving on.
That's
to
it for
Nintendo.
Sony, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for Sony. Moving on to Nintendo. My personal favorite of everything they shown, which wasn't a lot, was Super Mario Party. Because I'm a big Mario Party fan. This game is a return to the more board game style gameplay instead of the everybody jump into a boat ride.
Yes.
So, your character rolls a dice and they move that many spaces on the board. It's not your character rolls a dice and your cart moves along the board. I hated, was it 9 and 8 because of that.
Yeah.
Like
They were
this
fun.
is
They
more-
just weren't as good as
Right,
like previous iterations.
This is a return to the classic style of Mario Party where you don't pass the controller to the next person, they take their turn. It's everybody plays with their own controller at one time, that kind of thing. Mini games use motion controls and take full advantage of Joy-Cons, of course. And it looks like if you can play the same game across 2 switches, and if you're next to each other, they showed a gameplay where they put 2 switches beside each other and then move the map and like created a mini game map by moving the switches
Wow.
physically. And
Oh,
then
that's so cool.
They drove a tank and like you drove to the corner of one switch and then your tank was on the other switch.
Well, that's
So
amazing. That
It
is
was
amazing.
incredibly cool looking. And I'm super excited for this game. I can't wait to play it.
Good thing I got a second Switch.
Yeah. I hope they have that thing like they did with the 3DS where if one person has the game, you can have like a local sharing where you can use another Switch without actually having to have the game. That'd be nice.
Yeah, Nintendo's good, y'all.
Nintendo is good. And,
I can still steal all my opponent's stars at the very end, though, right? Because that's my main thing.
hopefully
Okay,
stealing
good.
stars
Perfect.
is the best. They showed they finally gave us some information on that Super Smash Bros. They teased a long time ago. It's called Ultimate.
Yeah,
And, everybody's here.
Yeah, it looks really good, but
It looks like
there was
Smash Bros.
fallout from their release. Like people kind of expect a little bit more from this one, I think.
It looked like the last Smash Bros, but with every character from every game, plus Inkling and Ridley, the main character they added. And they said you can use GameCube controllers on it with the USB adapter like you could on the Wii U. But this looks like the Wii U version just on the Switch, and they said everybody's going to be on this one.
It's a 1.5. It's not a new
I think
game.
I think it's a 1.5.
Yeah.
But it is called Ultimate. It is technically a new game, but it doesn't look the graphics look nicer. The characters look prettier. They have different skins.
The
But
fact
yeah.
that it's portable is gonna be fun, and it's now a lot of people have Switches and not a lot of people had Wii U's. Like they can kind of afford to re-release some of the Wii U games because I will tell you the Wii U was actually a pretty good console with some like quality titles. There just wasn't the install base, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
just-
definitely re-releasing stuff. Yeah, Donkey
Yeah.
Kong, Toad.
yeah, I
Toad.
don't blame them for doing it because they're going to start getting some third-party support. It's coming.
They are. They got a lot. Most of the games that were talked about are coming on Switch. The big ones, of course, not. But some of the other ones that you would expect to be on Switch are going to be on Switch.
Well, they're putting Dragon Quest on it, right? So that's pretty big news. They, I think I saw a question if they had announced any JRPGs, and I don't think they're announcing any new ones that weren't previously known, but they did put a final date and everything on Dragon Quest coming out.
And
In
they said there's
September.
some DLC for
If you can consider RPG Maker, because they announced that before the Nintendo conference. It's a new RPG Maker. I'm not sure if they can, but either way, that's an RPG on there.
And they showed Fire Emblems, a new Fire Emblem game called Fire Emblem Three Houses. I don't play Fire Emblem, so I don't know a lot about it, but yeah.
People are passionate about it. It's apparently pretty big. Fire Emblem's got a very cool aesthetic. Big shields, big swords, big armor sets. That kind of thing. And it's a different type of game that you probably would find on Nintendo. So it's good that they're continuing with it. I mean, any first party stuff is nice to see.
And it's for the hardcore. Oh, you can play it hardcore easy, but if your character dies, it's dead. It is dead. So I played it back when. I like
some
it.
XCOM elements to it a little bit.
It's a medieval XCOM. Yeah,
It's like a turn-based tactic style gameplay.
I was gonna say tactics is probably the closest.
Tactics. You're right. Yeah.
And they finally announced Fortnite for the Switch. But I want to put
out now.
Yeah, it's out now. It's out now, which is great to say. Put this disclosure out there. If you've ever played Fortnite on your PS4, you cannot play it on your Switch at all, whatsoever.
I don't get that.
So no transferring your skins or your
battle pass, anything,
your battle
any
pass
money
status.
you've ever spent on it, you can't use it. There's nothing Epic or can do about it. It says that Sony has got it blocked, and it has made an uproar in the I guess Fortnite world or gaming world, or if you have a Switch, because people who are like just tried it out on their PS4 and wasn't maybe into it, and they wanted to be like, oh yeah, it's on the Switch. This is something I would play on my Switch. They can't. And,
GG Sony.
Yeah, they're Sony
nice.
is the only person that's keeping this crossplay from happening.
We teased it a little bit, and
they went full.
People checked out right before we got to it, but yeah, that's the key. I wonder what would make them change their mind, because you're gonna have people that will say, look, I might not play Fortnite on PS4 because of this limited pool of people I can play with. Now, it's still huge, but yeah, that's it's really unfortunate, and I can't really understand, other than just like hubris, why you wouldn't want to share your player base with like other people to give a better gaming experience.
They did come out and gave a quote unquote statement, and it was just pretty much saying, oh yeah, you can go ahead and play PS4 with people on mobile phones and Android phones and computer. And that was it. They didn't say like, oh, we support this, we're not going to let this happen because of XYZ, or we're going to fix it. It's just you can do this.
VR spin.
You can do this instead. Yeah. It is. It's funny because one of the Xbox Twitter accounts tweeted at Nintendo and I was like, hey, you want to play Fortnite together? Xbox and Fortnite, it's fine. The PlayStation,
yeah. That's how it should be. And you know what? They'll get pressured to do it. If the next generation of consoles comes out and there's crossplay between PlayStation, or not PlayStation, PC, Switch, Xbox, and all that kind of stuff, and PS4 is the outlier, you're gonna see people not pick it up.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So there's some other things that were talked about too.
Yeah, there's some other things.
Besides that,
we already knew Shadow of the Tomb Raider was coming out. They just showed it, showed some story. It's set in Mexico with the Mayan, Aztec kind of thing going on.
Yeah, more of the same, I think. Yeah. But Tomb Raider is one of my favorites, so I'm really looking forward to it. It looks great.
You can't have enough of good gameplay. So
yeah, and that's what you're gonna get there, I think. So
nothing ground shaking. Madden 19, of course, EA talks about the sports games, but the big thing about Madden is coming back to the PC. It hasn't been on the PC in a number of years, so PC players are very excited to have Madden back. There's a game called Jump Force that was shown.
This looked amazing.
This is an anime fighting game by Capcom, and we've seen Dragon Ball characters, Naruto characters, One Piece characters, and at the end we've seen, was it Death Note?
I don't remember, but there's so many.
Yeah.
They showed a lot of animes in there. Yeah.
And it's pretty much Smash Bros. Swapped out with anime characters.
Or maybe like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Or Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Those fighting games, or Street Fighter, those kind of things with the anime characters. So there's an audience, I'm sure. It's not for me, but there's an audience.
Interesting name. I don't know why they picked that name, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
This was
Just Cause 4 was shown,
yes.
which looks the same as Just Cause 3. That was actually leaked by Steam like a week early or something. Yeah.
Steam Just Cause games are quietly very good, polished games that are fun to play. But so everyone knows they're going to go to $5. So just wait, and you'll get it for $5. But they're good games, and they're deserving of your time. Just don't buy on launch day, it seems.
Yeah. There's a game called Sable, which looks like a lot like Journey.
Yeah, I'll speak to that a little bit.
Yeah,
I think the art style is what's so unique about it. So similar to Cuphead a couple of years ago, where everyone was kind of blown away by just how unique Cuphead looked compared to like all the other games. I feel like Sable's in that same like kind of anime European art, cartoon style. So looks like an exploration game, kind of a survival aspect to it. So it could be interesting. I'd be curious to just keep an eye out on it. It was one of the most unique looking games I saw though at E3, and from an indie perspective, I'll throw it out there as one to watch.
I was kind of hoping that they would show that and then flip the S into a F and show Fable, but they didn't, so I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, sadly.
Another game they showed, which I don't know a lot about, so let Andrew talk about this one.
Yeah, this one was
Control.
during the Sony conference, Control, and it showed a female protagonist, and she's holding a gun, but she could shape the gun to whatever she wants. It came in like blocks or whatever. Then it got a little bit more weird because it showed psionic powers, where she could, obviously, take an explosion or just throw it back at a person, toss people around, fly around, and it seemed like it was part of a lab, so maybe she was like experimented on or something like that and trying to escape.
Stranger Things, but with
I don't know,
guns.
but it's very trippy too as well, because they showed not only like zombie-like characters coming back alive, but it was more of like the room changing, and you have to traverse these elements and everything. So, called Control. We don't know much about it other than that. So,
and then Andrew did want to point out that Xbox said they were working on the next Xbox console.
Did they say they didn't say gen? Did they say
They didn't
gen?
say gen. They're not alluding to it being another gen. I mean, they could be, but I'm thinking more along the lines of it being the next Xbox after the X.
I just
They
pointed
did throw
out.
some years out. 2020.
Yeah. Okay, so I just pointed that out just because also Sony didn't. So I'm not sure if they're
talk about
focused.
anything. We're still with
Yeah,
the Pro.
so who knows? I don't know. I know they're obviously working on it. Some people have to be working on it, but Xbox came and stated it in their main conference, so it has to say something.
Well, maybe Sony is only focused on the next gen and not putting out different iterations of their console. Like they had previously, there was a lot of iterations of PlayStations in the past. But that's it for E3 this week. There's
a lot.
A lot of games. There's a lot we didn't talk about, but that's the highlighted section of it if you didn't catch it.
And sorry if we didn't
really
spend enough time on a particular game you wanted to hear about, because we just knew we had to get through as much as possible. But hopefully you got a little bit of a snippet about what we feel. But let's get some feedback. If you guys want to hear more about some games, tell us.
That's true. Yeah, very much so. And there's one thing for the Destiny 2 people in the community. It was released before the PlayStation conference, and they just said, a lot of people play this. Let's release a trailer for it. It's a new trailer that Bungie came out, and it showed Cade 6. It showed, and I apologize, but the Awoken Marasov's second hand, that guy, shooting a ghost, Cade's ghost, and then shooting Cade. Yeah. And Cade's dead.
Why does Destiny always kill off their best voice actors?
I don't know, but apparently Bungie's confirmed that he's also dead. But we have a whole bunch of stuff going on in chat saying
they killed Nathan Fillion.
I got a feeling Nathan Fillion's just ready to move on to something else.
Yeah, they got rid of Peter Dinklage.
Possibly.
Peter Dinklage was kind of showed himself the door. He was too big for the role.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. he was winning Golden Globes and stuff.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate because now it's
I just pushed that out there a little bit. That's just what I wanted to say. Yeah,
they did show it
for Destiny 2.
They did show some stuff about this another lump of money you're going to have to hand over to play.
What's next?
To be fair,
reviews.
Forsaken does look kind of cool, but
it looks great.
But I mean, I'm
It's hard to give Bungie more of my money. I've already given them so much.
If you feel like you really enjoy Destiny 2 and it's a fun game for you, then I think you hand it over right away, because it looks like the next evolution of that. But if you were, in the group of people, maybe the vocal group of people that had issues with it, you may not want to spend that. You may not feel like they've earned it, and that's a fair position to take. Both are. So I just think, for people like me who are kind of on the fence, I might have pre-ordered in the past. I'm gonna wait a little bit.
For the people that do enjoy Destiny, I heard a little bit more news today. Is people that at E3 on the show floor playing the storyline. They said they played the first story mission with Cade, and that happening, and they said it was much more fleshed out the story than ever before. It's the best story they've done. Mission at least.
Not the shade, but that's how Destiny 2 was when it came out. Everybody was, this is a more fleshed out story.
No. These are players. These are players saying this, not Bungie saying this.
I mean, that's what I would say. I would say when Destiny 2 came out, it was more fleshed out.
Right. Okay. So then the next thing is Gambit. They said Gambit's a new. They said this quote, a new Trials, like back when, and that to me, that Trials experience was the best experience I've had in Destiny, and I can't wait to see Gambit. So that's just to push that out there and that's it about Destiny. I promise.
But, we're already pretty long in the stream, so I think we're just gonna go out.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We'll pick up 20 questions next week.
Yeah, throw out some plugs.
Okay, I have to say, Wrath Incarnate has grown over 10,000 members. It is. We are over 10,000 clan members. That means over 100 and something clans, and it's full up, and it's getting full up, and we have more demand for more clans, and that means that we have an application. If you'd like to put out, it's in the Discord for a clan leader. If you want to be a clan leader, you meet certain requirements. Please, send the application in. I'll review it, and then we'll get you set up with a clan.
We have to be single-handedly the largest Destiny community.
We have to be, I think. And that also means going to the Discord, which I will plug right now, is that we're at like 8,000. We're at 8,500 on Discord. So that's a lot, and we are going for partnership. I think we have a really good chance. We'll get there.
Where's everybody at? Where's nobody tuning into the podcast? Where's everybody at?
And then last thing I'll say, PixelPubGaming.com has all the information there. Has the Discord invite, has information regarding, what we have for Wrath Incarnate, for the Bad Mom Jammas, and our WoW community, which is coming up soon. Really, we have to start pumping that out. And
just
then,
an
of course,
insider point of view, we got a lot of people joining it. We've been recruiting a lot of people. We've actually been pulling a lot of older people that the community's played with before. They're coming into the Discord and all that good stuff. So
perfect.
We're growing.
That's awesome. That's really good to hear. And then the next thing is ARC servers. We're growing in ARC. Like the ARC part is lively, and it's being used a lot, and it's great. We have really good admins. So hop on for ARC. We have a Minecraft. We have Starbound now. Starbound server. All thanks to Espresso. Thank you for our server admin there. So yeah, all the information, pixelpubgaming.com. Visit that. And merch. Yeah. You got it.
Check out.
We got merch, y'all.
It's hard to see because of the mic, but check it out.
It looks great.
Shirt. It looks good though.
Nice looking shirt.
So Rob, you getting the second run? Colors. Are you getting the second run? I forget. I think Rob's getting the second run. I think the first run looks great. Yeah.
I'm part of the very exclusive first run club.
Yeah, I should have a little mark
limited
first
edition.
Run. Yeah.
This is limited edition.
And then so if you go on the main website, merch link, go straight to our Designed by Humans storefront. All right.
Stuff.
Cool.
Go get a shirt and join the club.
But, get you one.
That'll be it for us this week. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.